We are going to hold people accountable that push lies. And the president believes deeply that American news outlets should be reporting the truth.
Women were not invited to many tables in this nation. The reason we fought and busted our behinds to make sure that you didn't have to worry about this.
They're disgusting. She's Anna Navarro in your wildest imagination. You could never solo host a show. You will only ever make it as part of an ensemble, and you could never hope to achieve the success. So you can sit in your little cheap seats all day long and enjoy your little negative henpecking, but your careers are going nowhere.
Some stories begin softly. This one began with a shock. The sound of a major television empire starting to fall apart in front of a live audience.
Daytime
television has cameras, legal teams, and carefully managed public images. But when cameras and lawyers end up in the same room, things can change very quickly. That is exactly what happened here, and no one seemed prepared for it. Karoline Leavitt entered the courtroom looking completely calm. She wasn't nervous or dramatic, she simply walked in, steady and confident, as if nothing could shake her. But when she walked out, the outcome was serious enough to send shockwaves through ABC. And then there was Megyn Kelly. Megyn didn't arrive just to offer a few comments. She came ready to challenge the entire situation head-on. Her attitude made it clear that she had been waiting for this moment for a long time. What happened next wasn't simply another celebrity controversy. It became a dramatic chain of events that began exposing cracks inside one of the biggest powers in daytime television. For years, that famous round table felt like more than a television set. It felt like a place where the hosts made the rules. 5 women sat together, each with a microphone and very little fear of consequences. They shared strong opinions, made jokes at other people's expense, and sometimes presented their version of events as if it were unquestionable truth. And viewers across America kept tuning in. But over time, one serious problem began to grow inside the studio. The line between opinion and fact started to disappear. Personal views were sometimes treated like evidence. Confidence began to sound more important than checking the facts. A sharp joke could get a big reaction, without anyone asking whether there was a reliable source behind it. And that's where things can start to go wrong. Because facts have a way of catching up with everyone. Eventually, claims can be checked, statements can be challenged, and the evidence can come back into the conversation. This week, that moment finally arrived. Now let's focus on the number, $800 million. This wasn't a minor settlement or a small penalty that could quietly disappear into a footnote. $800 million is the kind of figure that can make executives stop and take notice. It's large enough to force major changes, from budgets and leadership decisions to company structure and public relations. And here's the bigger issue. According to this narrative, the amount wasn't simply the result of bad luck. It was the outcome of problems that had been building for a long time. Eventually, the numbers caught up. This is where the story takes a very different direction. Everyone expected a big fight. They expected angry statements, public arguments, and a battle that would dominate the headlines. What they didn't expect was silence. Karoline Leavitt didn't rush to social media. She didn't go on cable news to attack anyone. Instead, she went straight to work. While the hosts were still exchanging jokes and sharp comments, Karoline was meeting with her attorneys. While the show was preparing its next controversial segment, she was carefully putting together a detailed timeline. And while ABC's producers appeared confident, Karoline was quietly gathering documents and evidence. She didn't try to beat them at their own game. She changed the entire game. When she finally entered the courtroom, she wasn't there to demand an apology or win a public argument. She was there for one thing: a verdict, and the kind of verdict that could have consequences far beyond that courtroom. This is where the case became much more serious. The discovery process opened the door to everything behind the scenes. Internal emails were reviewed, production notes were examined, pre-show conversations were documented. Even comments about saying something first and fixing it later were brought into the record. At that point, the courtroom no longer looked like a simple disagreement between two sides. It started to look like a detailed examination of how the show actually operated. The evidence, according to this account, suggested that the controversial segments weren't random, emotional moments that went too far. They had been prepared in advance, rehearsed, and designed to get a strong reaction rather than focus on verified facts. Once those details became part of the official record, the case took a major turn. The courtroom battle was no longer just about what had been said on television. It was about what had allegedly been planned behind the scenes. And what followed wasn't simply a legal defeat, it was a public exposure of what had been happening behind the curtain. Then Megyn Kelly entered the picture. She didn't arrive angry, excited, or eager to celebrate. She appeared calm and completely focused, as if she already understood where the situation was heading. She didn't need a dramatic speech. She had something more powerful: years of experience and a long memory. According to this account, Megyn had seen similar situations before. The carefully arranged segments, surprise confrontations, selective editing, and moments designed to create a reaction. She remembered the pattern and kept records of what she had witnessed, so when the verdict was announced, Megyn didn't turn it into a celebration. She didn't gloat or make a spectacle. Instead, she simply looked into the camera with a quiet expression that seemed to say, "Now you understand." That calm reaction carried its own message. And in the story being told here, it became more damaging than any angry speech could have been. Now let's look at the reactions from the women at the table, because the internet had a field day with them. Joy Behar looked completely thrown off, like something had suddenly gone very wrong behind the scenes. Whoopi Goldberg had the look of someone realizing that the rules were about to change. Sunny Hostin kept looking at her notes, as if they had suddenly become a problem. And Sarah Haynes appeared to be thinking several steps ahead. Almost as if she were preparing for a difficult conversation about her future. The confidence and energy that once made the show feel untouchable seemed to disappear. In its place was a group of professionals who now had to think carefully about every statement before saying it on air. Knowing that lawyers could be watching closely, the internet picked up on the change almost immediately. Clips were analyzed moment by moment. Facial expressions became memes. Awkward pauses were turned into GIFs, and even simple looks became captions across social media. The damage wasn't just about losing a legal battle. It was about losing the image of being completely untouchable. But here's the part that's getting far too little attention. This story doesn't stop with The View. It affects daytime television as a whole. Hosts across the industry may now be looking at their teleprompters with a little more caution. Producers are likely to question every description and every claim more carefully. Legal departments have even more reason to pay close attention to what makes it onto the air. Even one small word, allegedly, suddenly carries much more weight. Meetings that once moved quickly could now involve longer discussions about what can be said, what can be proven, and what could create legal trouble. Staff members may find themselves learning more about defamation and fact-checking than ever before. Because in this story, Karoline Leavitt didn't simply win a legal battle. She changed the way people are looking at the risks of live television. Microphone doesn't protect anyone from consequences. In fact, the more people hear you, the greater the potential impact when something goes. And then the internet took over. TikTok filled with reaction videos. Long Twitter threads broke down every detail. YouTube shorts appeared one after another. Karoline Leavitt's courtroom entrance quickly became a popular clip, while Megyn Kelly's calm reaction was replayed, edited, and translated into different languages within hours. The comments were just as intense. People praised Karoline for staying composed, joked about the panel's reaction, and celebrated Megyn for making her point, without saying much at all. Then came the memes. People edited the View logo onto the Titanic, turned Whoopi Goldberg's expression into a joke about the evidence finally coming out, and created courtroom-style images featuring Joy Behar. The internet was relentless. And moments like this are difficult to erase. Once they become part of online culture, you can hope the attention moves on to the next big story. But the internet has a long memory. So this is where the story ends. Not with a huge celebration or a dramatic final scene, but with a lasting change in how people see daytime television. According to this account, Karoline Leavitt didn't simply defeat The View. She challenged the larger idea behind the show, that people on a major television stage can make serious claims about others without facing serious consequences. That idea took a major hit in the courtroom. And Megyn Kelly didn't need to lead a public attack. She simply stepped back and allowed the audience to make its own judgment. The View will probably continue. The show can change its segments, bring in new hosts, strengthen its legal review, and create stricter guidelines for what makes it onto the air. But the image of the show as completely untouchable may never be the same. The reported $800 million judgment would stand as a powerful reminder of what can happen when television personalities, producers, and networks fail to take facts and legal risks seriously. And the lesson reaches far beyond one program. Every host, panel, producer, and daytime network now has another reason to remember one basic rule: having a microphone doesn't put you above accountability.